But I thank you again for always letting us in the space.
No,
man.
Yeah,
That
hell
was a
yeah.
blast.
That was, you were a blessing.
And this show would not be where it is without the opportunity you gave me.
No
So
bullshit.
thank you, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So what I saw, you guys did awesome, and that's why we're still talking. So
We're good guys.
Because we're going to cut it. So you
Okay.
put this is at the beginning as well as
So
the end.
whenever you're ready, put your sauce on. That's how everyone's going to remember you.
camera here.
I can't tell you, man. Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
My name is Casey. I'm the co-founder of Encore Apparel. This is my golden hour.
You're a good guy. You're a good guy.
Yeah. I got it. Shorty gave me time for the color. Hey, had to wake 'em up like it's Folgers. Hey, had to wake 'em up like it's Folgers. Hey, shorty gave me time for the culture. Hey, your boyfriend the eye.
I think that looks like it's 47.6 degrees.
What should it be at? 45 or 90?
It just should be a
I
little
think
straighter.
45.
A little straighter.
No, 45 is like this, right?
You can definitely see a bit of a...
There is 100% a
bit of
tilt.
a
It should
downward
be at
angle.
0 degrees.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. You know, it's going
Whatever.
a
As
little
long
bit.
as it looks good. Fuck it.
Well,
you
I
can
can do it in
also
post.
flip it on post,
I'll always
yeah.
do it. So we're actually live, which is crazy.
Okay.
Look at that.
Before we start, this is interesting because Hector and I haven't run a show together in like a month.
This has been a while.
Heck,
Yeah.
it feels right, bro.
It feels
back in the
very
saddle
pure.
again.
It feels very pure, you know.
And
So this is the first show of 2019?
no,
Oh, no, he's been
I've
running.
run a bunch.
He's probably on like his 5th now, huh?
Yeah, we dropped a lot. I'm doing like 3 a week
Okay.
coming up.
Look at that.
Marketing,
Man.
branding.
All that good stuff.
But listen, before I introduce you, what I want to get out most of in this is that X over here, don't want to list his name, is a white boy hustler like myself. That's my guy. That's my guy.
An old
time.
white boy hustler.
White boy
Big
hustle.
time.
White boy hustle. White boy
Big time.
White boy hustle. White boy hustle.
You got to respect it when you see it.
Especially. So
Absolutely.
listen, before we moved to Phoenix
I'm
down.
not that much older than you, am I? I'm 27. You're.
Oh, you're 27, right? Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm actually 16. So before we got to Phoenix down, and actually there was a venue in between, we recorded a few episodes at Encore on Newbury Street.
Encore Apparel, baby.
How I met Casey, you probably thought I was a psycho, is I met him, what is it called, the Greenway?
The Greenway. In the
Yeah.
tent.
Are they still running that in the winter?
No. And only that runs from end of April into end of October. So obviously very seasonal.
Okay, word, yeah. So I showed up because I knew one of Casey's employees, and I was like, yeah, man, like we started this podcast, like I really need a space. I'll just keep people coming in, blah, blah, blah. And Casey was like, all right, man, sounds good. Like, yeah, let's just try it.
Sure, fuck it.
And so we ran a couple episodes over there. Actually, after we had stopped running episodes over there, me and Hector ran one in a barber shop up the street.
That will
Terrible
never air.
experience.
Holy
Terrible.
shit. People getting there.
Shop.
It was Anfa.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
Terrible.
He was like,
You know, he's a
those
really-
blow dryers being fucking.
He's like, I won't talk. He's like, yo, come in during business hours. He's actually a really nice dude.
greatest dude of all time. But yeah, he was having full blown conversations with like
He
whoever
was
he
like-
was cutting hair.
I was like, yo, turn, like we were recording. He like put the blow dryer on low and said it was on high. I was like, come on, bro.
it was ridiculous.
But listen, next to me, I have Casey Patton. I said it right?
Big Casey.
And Casey runs Encore Apparel on Newbury Street, which I think is like one of the cleanest, dopest stores in Newbury, man.
And like, yeah, that's not even just saying that because we used to, you know, run episodes over there. It's like legit fucking clean, guys.
This
Check
dude-
it out when you get it.
This dude has a cold brew machine in the store.
Come on, get you some coffee while they get you a nice T-shirt.
Is it functioning?
It is still functioning, yes.
Nice.
So if you want to come in and grab
There
a
you
cold
go,
brew,
yeah.
the doors are open, 303 Newbury Street. But yeah, I think you guys' setup was really kind of a springboard for us to do music events. You guys knew how to allocate the space, set it up. Your podcast basically ran at night, windows overlooking Newbury Street, so it's a really cool view. People can kind of see what's going on in there. If you can get people on the street in Newbury Street past 7 p.m. But yeah, no, it was great to have you guys in there, and you know, it was really, like I said, a launch point for us to start doing events in the space.
Do you still position it you don't position it with the glare off the window, right? You position against the back wall.
Yes. So if you
It's a nice aesthetic.
It's a nice aesthetic. It's a good feel. It kind of fits with the space. The layouts
Absolutely,
kind of works.
It's
So
like
yeah,
it's like a stage almost.
yeah. I mean, we do all our performances underneath our kind of iconic American flag on the wall on the far end of the store. I think we've had about 10 music events in there. We have another 18 coming up on the calendar.
Nice.
And that really goes across all genres.
There you go.
know.
Yeah. So yeah, explain that to the people that don't know, like a little bit more about.
Well, let me
Encore
talk about the
Hours.
brand first. So,
Actually,
my
no.
name's
Start day one.
yeah, day one. All right, my name's Casey. I was a banker for 12 years. I worked in corporate finance in Boston, New York City.
Where?
I worked for State Street Global Advisors in Boston, and then Credit Suisse in New York City.
So friends, he was like real corporate.
He was
like,
deep
that's
in
as
the
corporate
shit.
as
He
it
was in the
gets.
shits.
Right. But I didn't come from a corporate background. My mom's an elementary school teacher. My dad's a civil engineer.
White boy hustler, baby.
Yeah, I
That's what
grew
I'm
up in.
talking
I
about.
grew up literally in a 4-room schoolhouse in Maine. Went to Villanova. Went to BC grad school.
Boo.
Yeah.
Let him speak, Heck. Let him speak. I want you to tell your whole story.
We used to kick the shit out of Providence.
Here we
the
go.
time, but yeah, no, I just had a drive to do something more creative. I wanted to build a brand using the backdrop of music, which was always really a big inspiration for me in everything I did in my life, and really make a brand for creative people. And that's it. We sell to musicians, artists, teachers, technology people, chefs, marketing people. So
That was too quick. I want you to start like. so you are working corporate, correct?
I was, yes,
And are you like, fuck, I hate this?
pretty much, yeah.
And so
I liked the paycheck. I didn't like the life.
I'm sure. So you're in Boston at the time or New York?
I was in New York.
Okay. And you're like, wow, this is like definitely not what I should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely kind of waves to it, but I knew eventually I wanted to not be living in New York City. I'm a New England kid.
Too claustrophobic.
A little bit, yeah. But I mean, I feel like if you have a chance to live in New York City at some point in your life, you should do it because it's totally different than anywhere else in the country. And but yeah, I got to a point where it was like I had to make a decision. I had my son in New York City, and I decided, if I'm going to put roots down with family, like I want to do it in Boston. And that's when I came back, 2013.
Word. And so then you come back to Boston, corporate's done, right?
Done.
And you go to Bunker Hill, right?
I started Encore. So basically, I started Encore. Really just kind of did a few designs, started getting them out in front of people. Everything was...
But elaborate. You're hustling, right? Your shirt's on the back of your car.
Everything's being sold on the streets of Boston.
Let's go.
There you go.
Like, that was our distribution channel. I mean, we had a website, but, if you don't have,
That face to face.
Yeah, but if you don't have budget or marketing
that
or
too,
celebrity
yeah.
buy-in, like, no one's going to your website. Like,
Very true,
You
yeah.
got to be, there's a lot of components to driving e-commerce business. So we were always direct to customer. We built the brand year one, small tent, probably like 5-6 designs, just going out on Saturdays, Sundays in Boston and selling them.
Just tease.
Just tees. That's it.
Let's go.
Still our bread and butter. I mean,
So you had already had a foundation for business knowledge, right?
yeah, I mean, I studied finance at Villanova, graduate degree at BC, so I somewhat knew business, but like honestly,
You don't learn it through the classroom,
No,
though, right?
you don't.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I mean, you learn going out there, and I don't care what you're selling. You learn supply chain, you learn inventory management, you learn pricing, you learn sales, you learn marketing,
You learn people,
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's the most important.
Right. And whatever product you're selling, whatever service you're selling, it really just comes back to making those connections with people and getting them to buy into what you are creating.
There you go. So is Encore something that like you already had in mind before you quit corporate, or like you were just like done and kind of started venturing?
Yeah,
into
I mean, it
things
was
yourself?
always in my mind. I wanted to do something with music, and I'm not a musician. I didn't have the capacity to open up the next, House of Blues. So really, it was just like, let's start a brand using the backdrop of music as the message. And we'll see where it goes. And, I connected with an old fraternity brother from Villanova. He's a graphic designer.
Sigma Chi.
Phi Sig. Yeah. But yeah, we just started building design by design. Centered around the tagline "Life is short, play it loud," and And a lot of young people ask me this. It's like, whoa, you had this whole thing ready to go, dude. And no, it's like, it's been 4 years of testing, selling, hustle, finding what works, finding what doesn't, finding what your message is. Everything's always in a state of refinement and, you know, polish for sure.
Absolutely. Was this your first venture with business, or like had you done this before, like in college or high school?
First time. I mean, and I never really thought a lot about entrepreneurship. You know, I come from a very kind of blue collar background. So for me, it was like going to college to get a job, right? And like study, and like you're paying a lot to go to college. I mean, I had a shitload of college debt when I graduated. So I had to go out and get a job, you know. But I think as you get older, you know, at least in my case, I started thinking more and more. It's like, well, why can't I go out and like create my own path and build a business that I really am passionate about?
So what's interesting, I think, mostly about your hustle story, and I know it's interesting to me when people just sum it up over 4 years. Like, no, it's a day to day. He's like getting up fucking early. You know, he's probably overexerting yourself to people to make sure you really want to sell, because that's your lifeline, right? But you started much later. I mean, how old were you? Like 30?
Probably older than
that. That's
I won't put a number on it.
That's real shit, though.
Yeah.
Like, not. I'm sure your friends and like your acquaintances were at the state in their life where they're like already
like
locked
settled
in, right?
down, you know, like
Well, I mean, that's the hard part too. It's like when you start a business, it's going to be a 3 to 5 year runway to see if it's going to be something viable. You'll know probably in that 3 to 5 year window if you have something.
Yeah, if there's something.
But it's hard because at my age, you know, all the people that I used to associate with are, you know, senior level corporate people now. They all have great jobs, making good money. And like when you're sitting out there scrapping every dollar together, you know, trying to build something, you know, that's hard.
I'm sure there's a certain sense of insecurity that comes with it too.
Yeah, 100%. You're like, what am I doing some days? Like, some days I'm like,
yeah, that doubt.
You know, is my mom the only one who cares about this? You know, but for me, we always had a big social component to the brand from the beginning. That was important to me. So we've supported a lot of music-related causes, from the relaunch of music at Charlestown High School to dropping guitars at South Boston, Zoomix. We've had a national partnership with Little Kids Rock Foundation.
Talk your shit, young man.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I think when you have something, you know, positively social, you know, you're working with people, you know, that are looking for opportunities, like that, like gives you a little bit extra drive to get up every day and fight through the tough times.
And that's what I like about Encore, you know, like it's more than just a t-shirt brand. There's a social aspect that comes with it. You know, you give so much back to the community. You're like the scholarship, like we saw earlier.
Well, yeah, let me talk about that a little bit. So we've done a lot of different things over the years, and just, you know, when you're running a business, you want to try to keep it simple. You want to keep the message simple to your customers. And I just kind of had a thought. You know, we had a few conversations going on with people around Boston, and one of them was with the director of music at Charlestown High School, and he's like, look at, dude, like I got 2 great musicians here that are getting ready to graduate, and they don't even have, you know, the capital to apply to audition at Berkeley. And that's something that I want to like support. Like we're not going to relaunch music in the whole district. We're not going to do like what like Converse can do.
But if you can affect a couple of kids, you know,
let's open the door for one kid and have him walk over there, do an audition, and where does that go in his or her life? I don't know. Like,
you know, it could go a long way. You know,
but that's what I want to support with our brand and what we can do.
So that's interesting to me because like you're starting up and you already have like, if I'm saying it right, philanthropic causes.
I know, yeah.
Right?
Philanthropic.
That's something you don't see from like
young businesses. That's a Villanova education versus PC.
What is it? Is Villanova the Wildcats?
Wildcats, yeah.
Fuck the Wildcats. But who won the game this year? Do you guys know?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I saw everybody on IG going crazy.
To be honest, and people are going to get pissed that I say this, it's really not even a competition. Villanova's just been wiping PC for so long.
I mean, they did win like a national
championship. They won 2.
Yeah.
They're dirty, bro. But what's interesting is like, so mind you, I did the same thing almost 14, 15 months ago where I would just sell shirts, right? Same shit. It's interesting to me that part of your focus was divided in terms of helping when I felt like I had to be so selly. Did you feel that? Like,
well, Mark and I, who's my business partner, we talked about that. Like, can you walk that balance of like how much of the charity is part of the business, how much is just the design and selling is part of the business, and you have to find your kind of balance
like
point.
Sweet spot.
Yeah.
But that's so like,
how'd you decide that though?
It was just something I wanted to do. It was really important for me to make an impact. That's like, I could have sat in corporate and made a shitload of money, like, but I wanted to go out and do something like impactful with my time and energy and my knowledge.
How much would you say, and I know it's probably hard to assess, but how much happier do you think you are now that you're hustling your own shit?
I think it's being an entrepreneur is very up and down. I mean, the highs are super high.
Dope.
The lows are down in the
Like kicking a dick, I bet.
So it just depends. I mean, I think the most satisfaction I get is kind of looking back on what we started as and what we kind of have grown into, because the journey's long and there's been a lot of ups and downs. But when you get cool things like you get a chance to meet the bassist for Pearl Jam, or you get the bassist from Dave Matthews wearing your shirt on stage, like that's pretty cool. Or you can like write a check for a kid to go apply to an audition at Berkeley. That's amazing.
I think
when you got to write a rent check for Newbury Street every month, that's not cool.
Yeah, that shit's probably cheeks. And not
That's
even
the lows,
and
right?
Those are the lows.
and
That's
not
the
even
lows.
any rent check. It's like a corner spot. Well, what is 303 Newbury Street?
303 Newbury Street.
So you guys can already imagine.
Yeah, and we built the place to be really comfortable, like almost like a hybrid of a living room / record store.
Yeah, it's very cozy. Very
so
cozy
it's
when you walk in there.
Aesthetic. It's like you walk in, everything's clean and nice. There's no excess of anything.
Right. And that was, I think that's, just the way we envisioned it being an extension of the brand. The space was the extension of the brand. And, I think the fact that we can have events at night, in certain capacities, like that is just an experience that ties with our product line.
What, at what point when you're like really hustling, are you like, yo, like, cool, I've sold X amount of shirts, people know about me, I'm a good dude, people like me, I gotta sack up and like get this fat spot on Newbury? Because that's some real risk taking shit.
You threw yourself
Yeah.
out there, bro.
Well, I mean, I set out not just to be kind of a niche weekend t-shirt brand in Boston. Like, we have designs to be a nationally known company.
Yeah, you want to fucking blow up.
So there's always that runway. It's a long runway, but we were doing well enough in our events. I mean, we started, like I said, with a few designs in a small tent. We grew. I can't remember when you came in, but you probably saw our double tent, which was like basically a 200 square foot tent. The
Big boy shit.
Yeah, the collections had
Yeah, he had a bunch of
grown.
items out,
And we're selling over 100 shirts a day, like at a premium price point. I'm not selling $10 t-shirts.
$35.
35 up to 46 now.
Good quality shit. Nice cotton.
And there was days like we were out there, learning about merchandising, how to like merchandise the collections, how to tell a story, how to simplify, and we were doing enough business on those events to say, look at, what's the next leg? And like it was a big risk, financially first and foremost. But we just decided to go for it and open the store. And we signed a 6-month lease to kind of get a lay of the land. We'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, it was a big leap. And we look up and down Newbury Street. There's not a lot of local brands there. It's all multinational companies that lose money.
It's hard. Yeah,
it's marketing for them.
And also like it's Newbury Street. It's not like it's just some cut in
Side
Charlestown.
street,
It is Newbury Street is the street.
It's the runway.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like the right place, just in terms of the space, the location, proximity to Berkeley. It was like the space was just worth the gamble, in my opinion, and it's been good.
Have you always been wired like big energy?
Yes.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'm kind of a psycho.
Oh yes, my guy. but you have to be.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was funny when I was working in New York City. Like part of my job was really going out and entertaining clients at night, and we would go out till 2, 3 in the morning.
Pause.
Oh,
What do you mean?
you
Entertaining
no,
clients
chill,
at
bro. Have you ever seen Mad Men? You ever watch Mad? He was like,
no, what? They just people pleasers at night type shit.
so
Oh, it's like you.
you'd be like the Pete. Like you are the account man.
And when you're in sales like that, you go out as long as the client wants to go out, and you do whatever they want to do. And I was really.
I got some crazy.
Please,
Fucking
I know.
I was really
gonna
good at that. So, but I'd be calling all my boys from college at like 3 in the morning. I got to be at work the next day at 5:30. Like I probably had about 15 beers, and I was like, they're like, "What are you doing, dude? I got a message from you at 2:30 last night. Like I'm not even going to work till 9. You're going to be at work at 5:30."
Oh, so you were really on that work hard, play hard shit. I see it so much in New York. Like,
That
But I
was
mean,
me.
part of your play was like working.
Oh yeah,
That's the beautiful part of it,
Well, I think my job was really relationship building, and that's part of sales as well, is building that rapport relationship with your customer. And it takes interaction. It takes developing experience with them.
Mm-hmm. Was it weird watching these like serious corporate men unravel on a late night?
I saw some interesting stuff. Yeah. So
I'm sure like these dudes are mad pent up energy, right? Yeah.
yes.
Well, it still sounds fun though.
Yeah,
It sounds
but,
fast.
But I
and,
wasn't just going to restaurants. Like I'd fly to London for like a day and a half and take 10 clients out.
Jesus.
I'd go to Miami for a night. I'd go out to Chicago.
This is fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you probably should write a book on that, honestly. Wait, what was your position? What is that called?
So I was an equity sales trader.
Sounds very Wolf of Wall Street.
I know. I was
It
gonna say
really
very,
was. But
very cutthroat, I imagine, huh?
oh yeah, it's super intense.
I mean, but that's like what a lot of, I think, kids that I went to school with, that's kind of what they seek after school is they want like the high
fucking,
pressure
the
Wall
bam,
Street.
Bam, bam, yeah. I mean, it does seem exciting.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sure it was. I'm sure there were times where you're loving it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're dealing with very smart, intelligent people. You're working with blocks of millions and millions of dollars.
You're going to strip clubs, meeting shorties.
Yep, you're doing all that. So it's all part of the package.
So did you develop like your risk taking nature then, or?
I think so. I mean, I think
Because to grow a brand, which I think most people don't understand, is like risk taking is just part of the equation.
Yeah, you can't be comfortable.
right.
No, it's part of the job. You have to go take risk and
Can't
blow
be
bread on
comfortable.
shit that you don't know if you're going to get a return on. And
Right. And that was like Newbury Street. I mean, that was probably the biggest, most massive risk taken to this point. But we had a lot of data to kind of back it up and try to make a smart, decision to do that. But yeah, if you're not going to put yourself out there, if you're not going to talk to people, if you're not going to cross over and talk to people you don't associate with, like you're never going to
There's
go
not
anywhere.
gonna be any growth, yeah.
Right.
how important, so, academic success aside, how important do you think some of the wins you have been purely based on emotional intelligence?
I don't know. I don't know how emotionally intelligent I really am. Kind of like
Well, no, if you're a personable and sociable dude, you have to be.
right. Well, I think a lot of people ask me if I'm a big musician. Like I run a brand that has a backdrop of music.
Yeah,
You
you
You got the
would
music
think.
due up on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the tagline is "Life is short, play it loud." We have an album cover for our package, but honestly, like I'm not really that big of a musician. I played a little bit growing up, but I think what I always took from music was just listening to what people were putting out there, different genres, what they had to say, what their experience was. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. And to your point of emotional intelligence, if you're listening to people, if you're getting feedback, and that was the beauty of doing all these, direct selling events. Like I could hear what people were saying. I could see their reaction. And like, if you're kind of
Firsthand.
yeah. And if you have all that in your mind and you are like, all right, that's good. That sucks. We got to change this. Let's modify this. Like it's all from listening, right? And kind of getting feedback.
Yeah, I think, heck, do you remember when we went? I think one thing Casey said, like the first night we probably went, he was like, yo, to be honest, I'd like for you to position it this way. So when people are walking by, they're enticed by the space. And like, and this is still a dope idea. You're like, what you guys could eventually do is you could set up the podcast and we could shut the store down, because that would
It's like, why? Yeah.
entice shit
yeah,
from
exactly.
consumers, which is like, I'm like, damn, bro.
Very
this
out
is
the
a
box.
smart
Yeah,
dude,
I know.
man.
Like, who's thinking about that?
Yeah. Well, people always want to be part of something. I hope they do at least.
Well, people want what they can't have too. You feel
Right.
me?
So if they see you guys doing a cool show, lights all lit up from the street, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?
Yeah, what's going
Like,
on?
That's kind of
Who
cool.
are those
I wanna
guys?
know what that is.
Have you seen a lot of? Have you seen a bump in attendance because with what you're doing with
Because of the
Encore Hour
events?
now?
Yeah, every show's a little bit different. Again, it's some artists have really strong followings. Other artists, we need to be bringing people in. So we'll have anywhere from 25 to 65 people come in for an event. 65 gets a little bit tough, just kind of logistically. But yeah, I mean, our goal with that was to really just offer artists a space to do an authentic hour of performance.
Genius. This dude is a genius.
So like think about like
Who
what-
else is doing that? Come on, guys.
No,
No
it's
one in
not even-
Boston.
And that's the thing. It's your space is perfect for Boston artists because nobody's gonna pull huge crowds.
Right.
So like 50 to 65 is a great
Very,
capacity.
it's very nice, very intimate.
Yeah, and think about like most musicians are playing in bars or local breweries, whatever, and they're getting video to use for their promo kit from their friends on an iPhone. If we can bring them into our space, I don't care if there's 15 people there watching or 50. put together multi-angle, high-res video for them that they can use and go out and promote their brand. Like, that's pretty powerful.
That's my guy. Okay, so what? I might cut this up as a clip, put it on the old Instagram. So the largest following of this show right now, besides everyone who likes me, because I'm a good dude, is like rappers in the city.
Yep.
What would they have to do to book an hour or reach out, facilitate something?
So we have a link on our website, which is encoreapparel.com. Top of the menu, drop down, it's called Encore Hour. All you need to do is put in 3 pieces of information, just obviously your name, contact information, maybe a link to a YouTube clip or whatever, and we'll bring you in. It's not super ultra like competitive. I mean, we have 25 shows booked over the next 8 weeks or so.
It's free?
It's free, yeah. And we sell tickets. You can sell tickets.
Look at that. This dude's an angel.
Yeah.
Listen! He's saying you could throw a free show.
Yeah, and we'll split the ticket cost with you. Again, it's just really what we have available in the space. And our lease goes through February. We're going to see if we can extend out.
And you offer all equipment?
Depends. We can potentially, we have to work with the artist. We don't have a backline set up, a dedicated backline. We are working more and more with an audio engineer who did our last show with Paper Citizen. He's great. He's a Berkeley grad. He does that, and he will come in and you got to kind of figure out the financials on that. But it just depends. A lot of artists have their own backline equipment that they'll bring in, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. We have all the video equipment.
Well, but a rapper wouldn't need like
instruments and Yeah, so come on, guys.
So kids,
reach out.
Yeah, so listen. This I've just been preaching this because I get a lot of DMs and shit like like it's tough, like being an artist in Boston, blah blah. This is how you make money. Go throw your own show, and he is saying you get the space for free. No,
be a good ass
there's
dude.
no risk.
Just be a beat. Just be a good ass dude.
but don't go to my dude's store and start like destroying shit.
I'm saying,
smoking weed and all that.
Yeah, we keep it clean. 1 hour. We want it to be professional. We want it to be something that a video comes out of it that you can use to take the next leg in your career and what you're doing.
Okay. Heck, I've asked a million questions. I don't want to dominate over you because I know you've been eager to get back on the show and rip one out. So
I don't know. I kind of just we've talked a lot about the store, but like let's talk a little bit more about you and this love of music. Like when did it start? Who were the?
Well, I grew up in Maine, so I think my parents were kind of big hippies for all intents and purposes. We listened to a lot of classic rock, folk rock. I'm also a kid of the '90s, which is a very interesting era of music in a lot of ways.
A lot of crossover of.
From the grunge era, Pearl Jam, Foo Fighters, Nirvana, to some of the great hip hop rap albums of all
so you're
time.
really one of those like Maine teenagers, just frustrated and isolated, just like
pretty much.
fuck,
Taking it all
in. Barren and desolate and like
right.
Yeah, what was it like growing up in Maine?
I mean, it was small. It was small.
What town?
I went to Wiscasset High School, which was my graduating class was about 90 kids, I think.
Really? Wow. That's kind of, I would expect it to be, like a lot of.
I grew up in a house my parents built, themselves.
There you go. Look at this.
But just think about like going to high school and having, Dr. Dre's The Chronic come out, or, Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, or
fucking classics.
Or Nirvana, Teen Spirit, like all those things. And I think the most powerful thing in music is when you start seeing crossover, right? And you start seeing artists working together, and that's like for Boston, I feel like there's so much talent here, but it's a very kind of
scattered.
Yeah, very scattered,
right?
Yeah.
And
I talked about that for years.
Yeah, and just like if you could bring everyone together, and I think if you think about, the grunge scene in Seattle, like those are all bands supporting each other.
Yeah.
And like going out to shows together and building a scene. Like you're not gonna really go anywhere per se unless you have that power of community around
Casey,
you.
we are literally
preaching
speaking the
to the
same
choir.
language.
Yeah.
I've been telling, and mind you, you are, I think, compared to me, you're much more communal and philanthropic than I am. Just because I'm just like, I don't know, I've been pissed lately, bro. But like,
don't be pissed. It's early in the year.
No. Well, things are great. I'm just always mad nowadays. I don't know, bro. I miss my shorty. Fuck. But that's why I've been saying, like, there's a lot of artists out here just picking off each other's heads. Like, the only way it's going to move is in a wave. Because it's like, oh, my God, look at Boston. It's bubbling, right?
Strength in numbers, baby.
And so Casey is doing his part, man. He's not.
And we work with all genres. I mean, we got Caleb McCoy coming in to do a show. He's great.
What genres do you have?
Caleb McCoy.
He's got kind of hip hop, gospel. He's got a lot of different pieces going on.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'd love to have Anton Raps come in. I know he's had a few things going on this fall. He's great. I love.
Yeah, you're getting that. So that community you're getting is that Boston Music Awards.
Yeah, right.
Community.
And those are people that know where we are. They can find us. We're close. In the center of the city.
Real classy.
But we've also, we have Ashley Jordan come in. She's a huge Grammy-nominated country artist. Like, I'm not a huge country fan by any means, but like I can appreciate what she's doing.
Absolutely.
Is she from Boston?
She's from around Boston. Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
So is it just segmented to local acts, or it can be
Whoever wants.
Yeah. I mean, if Pearl Jam wants to come in and play, I'm down with that.
hit his
not,
line? Hit his line.
You guys want to call Kendrick Lamar, have him come in, and we'll do it.
That'd be huge.
Have him pull up. Have you ever thought about doing like meet and greets type of events?
We thought about. I mean, it takes a lot. I mean,
Hector used to work at Laced. Are you familiar with Laced?
Laced Boston. It's kind of like a streetwear consignment store.
Where's it? Columbus?
It used to be on Columbus. It's now on Mass Ave. Yeah.
Yeah. The Encore events kind of double as a meet and greet, so it's intimate. The artists can connect with their fans, and we'll bring in people that probably don't know the artist as well, so they can kind of promote their work. We have reached out to various bands coming into town. I think when you're a touring artist, you got a lot of stuff going on with your time.
Yeah.
We haven't had really anyone come in and sit down, but the space is always open. I mean, we will keep reaching out to people coming into town from down around Boston.
And that will probably just grow as time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are aware that you're like.
But think about like what Newbury Comics used to be. Not to belittle them or anything, but like they're not really about the music anymore.
I know.
Right?
Well, they're a huge corporation.
Yeah.
Where are they out of? Brighton? The big offices, I think, right near New Balance.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, around there.
But they used to be,
They used to host, have artists come in.
artists all the time. It used to be
all
about
that
the
shit.
music, selling mostly music. And now it's like you walk in there and there's like, 50% of the space is dedicated to bobblehead dolls.
I was just gonna, or like
Plush dolls.
fucking wacky message shirts and shit.
Right. It's like, what is that? Like,
Yeah, but so do you ever think, like, let's say, pray to God, man, because you're a great dude. Let's say your brand is like really popping.
Yeah,
Have you ever thought of like how you're gonna scale and like how to still keep the authentic feel?
Scalability's, it's hard to kind of, from a manufacturing perspective, from a marketing perspective, there's a lot that goes into that.
It's such a tough bind for like, especially like.
Well, you've sold T-shirts, and
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's when you're producing a physical product, especially a T-shirt. You have 5 sizes, you sell out of one. You got to kind of group together your production so you're getting the right cost in the shirts to make your profit margins.
And you want to hit that unit. I'm sure you work with some printer. There's certain price breaks. That's a certain amount of units you produce, and
But then you also don't want to print 300 shirts and not know if they're going to sell and sit on inventory for 2.5 years. So that's like it's hard. So we have a couple different distribution models talking about scale. Obviously, we sell online. It's not a huge platform for us, but we're hoping 2019 we can really build that. We sell through the store. We do events.
Shopify, right, on Instagram.
We build on Shopify, yeah.
There you go.
And then we have a wholesale platform as well. So wholesale is basically, a boutique, a record store, a surf shop, a department store maybe, can buy our stuff, resell it, and there's a whole metric.
Like he's saying, like if Walmart
Like a
wanted
Macy's
to sell his shirts,
Right.
that'd be huge. That Walmart cosign would be huge.
Well, I prefer
I was about to say. I'm like, I don't know if he wants to sit on Walmart.
Hey, it will sell in Walmart.
Yeah.
We're capitalist pigs over here. You forgot, man.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but I mean, like, let's say, like, things, like, really start glowing up, right? It's, like, it's so founded on, like, being genuine and being authentic. Does that ever worry you? Like, shit, how do I do it? Because, in the end goal, you want your business to be successful type thing.
Well, what do you guys think is, the most authentic brand that you guys follow?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
I'd have to go Golden Deer Productions. So I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro.
Well, in the clothing apparel world, I mean, obviously streetwear
Good
is
question
like
for Hank.
synonymous with
Authentic. Probably no bullshit. Supreme. 'cause
Yeah,
they've stuck to their guns over the years.
Right.
They could be making so much more money if they were to mass produce, but
There you go. So there's your answer. They've stuck to their roots.
yeah,
I think they only have probably 6 or 12 stores internationally, I think.
yeah.
They sell bricks for $400.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the resale. Like, people always talk about how Supreme's so expensive. What the store actually sells you is not that bad. It's when the resellers are the ones that are fucking you.
But why is it just the demand is so high?
Yeah,
Because
that's
the brand
exactly.
identity is so high.
Everybody
limited.
wants it, and it's only a certain amount of items that
But
they put out.
but in my opinion, there's no way they could have planned for that when they started 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, they were at the kind of the birth of streetwear.
Yeah, they were
kind of
right on, coming along with the wave.
Yeah, and aligned with like really the launch of like the hip hop culture and all that, and
Skate culture.
skate culture. They had a lot of celebrity buy-in, but they've done a great job, and they've made a conscious business decision to keep supply limited, to do what they wanted to do, and not sell out to a bigger company. I mean, they did have a big equity investment come in this year, but I don't see them, doing anything really differently than they have done.
I think one interesting thing about also what you're talking about, and I've been noticing it recently, we are actually all very blessed in terms of both business and entertainment to live in Boston, because like you feel it's like a little baby, right? It's like it's growing. Can you feel it growing?
Yeah, I mean, we've doubled sales every year for 4 years.
Exactly.
Look at that,
And entertainment's growing, and there's no real competition if you start your own shit up right now, which is
Right.
dope.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do licensed prints. We may start working more with bands. I have this kind of other business idea about doing kind of custom work for bands.
Ooh, there you
Because
go.
I think there's a big need. So I'll just throw this out there. So you go to a show. I used to go to a lot of shows. The artwork for most artists is really good. I would say 95% of the artwork is really killer. The shirts suck. One, they print on the worst
Quality.
shit.
What, Gildan?
Quality is terrible. And B, it's like I'm usually going out after with the show, and I don't want to carry a shirt around with me. So on the other side of the coin, the artist is like lugging around shirts all over the country, bringing out 100, 150 shirts.
Yeah, shipping
So
them.
yeah, so why don't we just be almost like the brand that works with bands? We house all their inventory. We do it properly. We make a proper T-shirt. They bring a size run with them.
Did you take care of the distribution?
Yeah, we'll ship them out that night.
Look
after
at
the
that.
show,
Look
you
at
know?
that.
But so would you tour with the band?
No, I'd be in.
You'd be on
wherever.
Newbury.
I'd be in a warehouse with all the inventory. It's like Amazon, right?
Yep, just
You
sending
know?
shit.
The band brings an iPad, 5 shirts. They can feel them. They can see the quality. The customer puts an order in. Boom. I'm like, oh shit. Steel Gold just sold 25 shirts tonight.
And I don't have to deal with it.
Straight middle.
Like the artist doesn't have to deal with
the
it.
artist doesn't
Middleman
deal with
shit.
it. The customer gets their shirt delivered to their house 2 days.
Dude, Casey is
you know?
smart. Fuck.
Then you
dude.
build a whole web platform that's like,
Stop giving out the sauce.
Yeah, well, that's it.
That's all right.
Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
It's a big thing to build. I'll just tell you that.
It is.
But then you have a website, and then you have artists from all over the country, and a customer can go there and say, I want to see who are the punk bands on the West Coast, and like do a filter. Like, oh, that's cool. Like, it's almost a way for people to discover music through the artwork.
Create a network through your brand.
Yeah.
Literally.
And if we can be a part of that and really, kind of do a proper product for bands, I think that's something interesting to me.
Okay. You're a smart dude.
That was
Yeah, that was my.
and I want to make sure we get this plug off. So as I get up and I'm gonna go get the goodies because
Okay,
that's part of the ploy. I'll cut you up a clip so you can. But hey, why don't you just lead with a question real quick?
Ooh, careful
boy.
with the headphones. Jesus.
Oh man.
Okay, so like, you seem like a real creative dude. Like, what drove you to do finance stuff?
I mean, again, it was neat. I grew up pretty
The
poor.
money, yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
money
grew up
aspect.
fucking super lower middle class. Like, I had to go out, like, I didn't have anyone writing me a check to do anything.
Absolutely, yeah. So you have to go get that cheese.
Right. And, not that I set the world on fire, but, I was smart with my money. I saved it. It gave me at least a window to try to do something
Absolutely.
on my own.
And I feel like that route is the best if you don't want to stick to something for
Right.
the rest of your life. It's not like being a lawyer or a doctor where, like, you pick that and, like,
Right.
no, that's what the fuck you are.
But I meet so many creative people that are, they're big musicians or great artists, but they have another job as well because it's,
That's Boston.
It's hard
Yeah.
to like make a real income.
It's hard for the American man.
It is.
But the internet is a blessing.
It is.
know.
It's
That wasn't around when you started your
Nope.
business.
Well,
When you started your business.
not that old.
When you had ideas.
I was gonna say, dude, like, what?
grandpa over here.
Dude,
Like
68.
back in my day, we were trading off of pink
But
sheets.
to that point as well, there's also a shitload of noise out there, right?
Yeah,
like so
saturation.
social media,
a lot of
internet-
bullshit.
Internet marketing. It's just like there's so much noise. I think people just get numb to a lot of things online.
But that's why I think Boston artists in general have to understand, like, the fact it hasn't blown up here yet is a blessing.
Yep.
like you know, they're
Untapped market. Yep.
totally untapped and it's growing.
So my advice for any artist, any musician, is, you know, get a high quality video of your work done. And I don't care if that's done in front of 3 people or 50 people. Like, that is going to be your marketing piece to go out to venues, to go out to labels. You know, so we work with Grooves Media. My boy Jose is the store manager at Newbury Street. It's Grooves Media on Instagram. He is a very talented videographer that works with a very broad range of artists. Like, if you can hook up with him and put that in your portfolio in some capacity, I think that is going to do wonders for you.
You're kind to your employees.
I'm kind to everyone.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, you are.
but Casey is right.
It needs something out
There's a kid who came up here. He's actually hilarious. Named DJ Clout. And because I've done stuff in the Middle East, he was like, dude, like, how do I get this together? I was like, yo, first thing you got to do is you got to go get a video because that's your reference.
Yep.
And if you get a good videographer, man, just make it look like there's 5,000 people there.
Yeah, you can.
Keep the lens very close. Make sure there's no open space. And like, yeah, this is the hottest DJ.
It's all about
This
the
is-
angles. All about the angles, baby.
So listen, Casey brought us gifts. Thank you, man.
Gifts. I had to bring something, right?
You're the man.
But wait, but note the packaging because this is something that's very unique to his brand.
This is pretty as fuck. Look at this.
So we pack
Look at
all
this.
our t-shirts in custom record sleeves.
Fresh.
I don't think anyone else out there is doing it. I've had thousands of people tell me like that's really unique and very genius. Really,
It really is, dude.
It is, dude.
I mean, it really came from out of frustration too. I mean, the first year we talked about building a business. The first year, 12 months, 18 months, you know, I couldn't get anyone to respond to an email, to a phone call, and like I'm a semi-professional guy. Like I can write an email, but people were like, "Who's this dude, Casey from Encore? I've never heard of that." I'm like, delete. So I was sitting there like one night drinking a bunch of beers. I had on my vinyl next to me, folding t-shirts.
You're bawling your eyes out.
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck?
Frustrated.
And
Then it clicked.
yeah, and then I was just like, well, I think a shirt folded perfectly would fit inside a cover. Well, why don't we try that? So I called a record company. We had a bunch made and started sending them out to people. Dude, like we got an 85-90% response rate.
Look at that.
Bam.
We got on to Chronicle. I sent one to Fenway Park. David Ortiz was wearing our Boston shirt.
Big puppy.
Yeah, it was insane. Like, how many shirts does that guy get over the course of a
Yeah, I
season?
can
and sent
imagine,
to him?
dude.
And he was wearing it. He was wearing our shirt in a big promo video.
Wow.
Then we
Just
had
'cause of
some.
the packaging,
This shit
you
is
know?
genius, man.
Yeah,
It's
that-
It's
yeah.
great. Come on.
This is
So
genius
then
shit.
then we started having a few left over. Customers were like, "Well, that's really cool. I can buy a gift for someone, or I can put that in my studio. I can put that in my creative space, my office. Like, I want that."
No, very out the
So
box.
I don't.
Ooh, look at
and,
these.
And I can cut this too if you want me to. But you say a brand built by 2 friends.
Yeah.
I
So
wouldn't-
Mark is my business partner.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah. So I
Mark.
went to college, and I mentioned him earlier. He's the graphic design side of the business, but we started together.
Word. Shout out to Mark.
Yeah, it's good to have partners as well. It's good to have different perspectives. Mark and I skill set is very different.
Mark's the art side. You're the business side.
Right. I do all design, idea, strategy.
Show the camera. Keep going.
Yeah. But you got to find people that have complementary skills.
Absolutely,
'Cause if
yeah.
you get 5 people in the same room with all the same skills, like that's very limiting.
Yeah. You want it.
And also, these are like beautiful cotton.
The
What is this?
cotton is-
It's a tri-blend,
Oh,
right?
pristine.
Tri-blend's the way to go.
Yeah, we don't fuck around with our
Pristine.
shirts. We make them nice.
Not
It's
gilded.
got that-
Delicious.
Yeah, it's got that feel like you've had this shirt for 5 years.
Buttery.
Right out of the box.
It's
Super
nicer
soft.
on your biceps if
Yeah.
you're trying to look yoked.
You know what I'm saying?
Also,
It's
Casey, a
cool.
big dude, bro. You been in the gym?
No, never.
Don't lie to us.
Stop it.
Dude, I got 2 kids and I run a business. I'm never in the gym.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, that's his
I
gym.
used to be
you
in
know,
the gym.
picking up the children. Yeah.
What does this shirt say? I got these shirts for you guys just because, I really
My fault.
yeah, I really appreciate and like respect what you guys are building here with Golden Deer. And I think you guys have the right mindset in terms of drive, commitment.
It says lack of passion is fatal.
Fatal.
Encore Apparel Co. Life is short. Play it loud.
So again, lack of passion is fatal. If you're not committed to what you're doing, your craft, your art, like you're not going to go anywhere. It's going to be you.
And it feels dope. No
Yeah,
bullshit.
And you're going to be driving the boat. Like whatever you do, you are the one driving the boat.
I think one thing have you ever had fear of mortality?
Yes, I will say. I'm very cognizant of time and mortality, yes.
That was my big shit. Like, I don't know, like 13 months ago, I was like, wow, like you're gonna die like imagine when we're all 70. Sorry to get so grim. I said it on another episode recently, but you're gonna die like
9 in the morning.
But I know, but imagine looking back and be like, yo, fuck, I did not utilize that time when I was smart and I was able-bodied and I was well and like I had all the ideas.
Yep. Dude, that is like so on point with what's in my mind. It's been in my mind for like 6 years. Because again, the thing says life is short, play it loud.
You don't want to leave any regret.
Right. No regrets. Go out there. If you have ideas, you got to do them. There's a window to do things in life. And if you don't take advantage of it, you're going to regret it.
And he is saying this, he started this when he had 2 kids.
2 kids, yeah.
That's like a tough time to sack up.
Oh my God. Like, I wish I was like young dudes like you guys. I could be sleeping on this couch, building the business. But you roll with your circumstance. Like, that's it. Like, and again, time is fleeting. You can always spend money, lose money, make it back in some capacities, but you're never going to get your time back.
Absolutely.
Know what I heard? I forget where I saw this, but this shit stuck with me. Someone said money is stored energy. That's all it is.
Yep.
Would you agree?
I would agree.
It's just like someone exerted
That's a good
themselves
concept.
to be rewarded for it, and now it's sitting in an account and it's just stored.
Yeah. I mean, money is to make things happen, in my opinion. I don't need to have 5 cars. I don't need to know, like, I have 3 houses around the world. Like, I don't care. Like, I'd rather just, you want to be comfortable in some ways and, like, you want to be able to live your life and pay your rent, your mortgage, whatever. But money is to do things and make an impact. Think of how many people fucking lived in this world. Billions and billions of people. We're all going to die. I don't know if it's tomorrow. I don't know if it's 30 years from now.
Real
shit. Go out.
You want to do something with that.
You want to do something,
And the resources.
It doesn't have to be famous. Like, go make the world a little bit better. Go impact someone's life. Like, go.
Or put yourself in a position to, like, if you feel like, I don't want to overexert myself, just put yourself in a position where every day you don't feel like you're wasting your time.
Right. And I think you look around at a lot of people, especially as you get older, they're trapped in a job, that they don't really like. They have to make the money to, like, fund, like, their lifestyle. And they're not happy, Happiness is, like, what you should aim for.
Yeah.
Are you more productive now that you're operating your own thing?
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to not be that organized, to be kind of all over the place, to be,
as most entrepreneurs are,
quote unquote, a working class dreamer.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah,
but
that's one of my goals for this year is to really be much more focused, structured, and just
good luck, dude.
My wife's like, dude, you're a fucking hot mess. You got to get it together.
Well, yeah, but I think sometimes if big ADHD and you're like your mind's totally divided, I think sometimes you're just like, all right, I will never be organized. Do you ever feel that way?
Sometimes.
Like, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Let me just do my thing.
Sometimes it's that way, dude. You just gotta be fucking.
I mean, heck, I think of how many episodes I've run here. Before you got here, we had a total audio mess. We didn't even know how to get this. Is a tootling mic. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I know. This is what, episode almost 40.
I know you guys are like ripping
Still.
them out.
There's what's today? Saturday. This is gonna drop on next Thursday.
Yep.
I'll send you clips and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah. So what is your guys' plan? Kind of moving forward with this. I mean, it's been great. You guys.
Yeah.
Well, Hector and I don't run every episode together anymore. Thanks for bringing it up, Dick.
Yeah, you guys had a nasty breakup around Christmas. You didn't get to the present you wanted.
No, that wasn't it. What happened was Hector, and to be honest, like it was, I think probably one of the toughest things I've ever done. I was just like, bro, like I just operate. I know for you, but for me that shit was hard as fuck. I was just like, dude, like how like I operate, just like, and no bullshit.
Yeah,
as he.
Have you guys talked about this on air before?
No,
yeah, this is the first time
okay,
we're
good.
addressing it.
Thanks, dude. but I was just like, bro, like I got the sauce. I just gotta go do it. And like, no bullshit. I was like, I wish you were a dick. I wish you were like, bro, fuck you, because he was so good about it. Like he was like, dude, like I understand, man. Like we've been friends for years. This isn't gonna like hurt us at all. Like you gotta go do your thing. I was like, are you fucking serious, bro? But Hector is starting his own show. Come on.
Eventually, well, it's gonna happen, kids. Just keep your eyes open. I'm gonna let y'all know when it's coming out. Know what I'm saying?
I've been getting a bunch of people hitting me up for like they want to do segments on like political issues and like shit like that. And so Hector, now that I'm putting it out there, you kind of have to do it before someone steals it.
Fuck.
But Heck is gonna start. Is it politically based?
Yes, it's gonna be a politically based show and vlog.
But neutral, right? You're
Yes,
just
gonna be
entertaining conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not This
Well, I
is not
think
going to
when
be
you
a
get
lefty
in-
thing or a righty thing. This
I
is
think
just
when you
gonna
get
be-
into politics, it's very divisive. And I think if you ask me what the biggest issue facing this
Business.
country, society right now is just like the level of extremism, both sides.
ridiculous.
The level of divisiveness. Like, you know, at some point, you know, people have to understand that, you know, I get you have your viewpoints, but there's got to be sacrifice on both sides. Like,
Tribalism is at its finest
yeah.
right now.
And it's just like, you don't get anywhere. You
The
just like,
polarity, like.
yeah, it sucks.
There's-
But the thing is, there's
no
people
room
like
for
us
discussion.
who could just at least talk. Like, and another thing, I think people, it's just like you talk about your political opinion nowadays, and people will take it right to the character of the person.
Yep.
Right.
Which is like that's not really how it works.
It's not. It's the furthest. You can't just. Yeah, you can't fucking block people like that. You know, like there's so much more to a person than
And just,
a
you see it
political
on social
opinion.
media too. You see these people that hide behind their keyboards and their screens and
Oh,
just
those
like
are the worst.
throw out like the biggest fucking bullshit
Those are the
comments and
worst.
like, you know, takedowns of people. I'm like, dude, fuck you. Right?
I know this
Like,
whole canceling people thing is getting ridiculous.
I think one thing people also don't get is it's terrible for business, right? You,
Yeah,
you just totally avoid it, right?
in terms of being political,
Just like even touching on anything political.
we have, you know, in the past said certain things, and I have my own viewpoints on things, you know. But again, my thing is like just it's got to be, you know, a sacrifice on both sides. And I kind of made a couple posts about this, you know, during election day. It's about being united. Like you need a united, you know, country.
Yep.
And again, it takes sacrifice. It takes people like not being so self-involved and like, I deserve this, I deserve that, I need to get everything. It's like you have to like find a middle ground.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. Right now, there's never a positive outcome though.
No, I mean, look at
it's a war. You know, it's a war of ideas. It's my side beating your side.
What,
Yeah.
what do you think for your show? Sorry, I know this is your episode,
that's
but what
okay.
do you think? What do you think would be the most prevalent opinion and issue you could bring up to help our demographic as like 20 to 25-year-olds that people actually care about? Because kids our age do not care unless you're a real psycho.
That's a good fucking question. I'm gonna have to come back to you with that.
Soon needs to develop his show.
I think I would say young people want opportunity, right? You know, I
It's
think
college debt.
yeah, college debt's huge. I mean, and I see it, you know, in the world that I live in, with young people walk in my store and they're like, dude, this is fucking awesome. You know, but they have no money because they're A, living in Boston, B, they're so saddled with, you know, school loan debt. You know, that's a major issue for this generation, younger generation. Not that I didn't graduate with a lot of debt, worked hard to pay it off, but like it's not like it is today. Like if I would go to Villanova right now, like that's like $68,000 a year.
It's ridiculous.
I couldn't do that.
The Big East, the Catholic schools are getting out of hand.
They're getting ridiculous. I mean, when we 2014, it was 60.
I'm gonna be honest. I have been blessed that my parents took care of most of it, and I got aid and I got other certain packages. I had no clue, and I feel so entitled. I had no clue college loans were such a big deal because I never had to deal with it, and now I'm like, wow. I had the same experience. My experience was a little bit different, but a lot of my friends leave, and they have $100,000
Yeah.
to play.
It's fucking ridiculous.
That is a
dude.
shitload of money to pay back.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Especially when you're at an entry-level position, you're
Yes.
just starting to pay rent.
Right.
Like, dude, what?
And that's $100,000 that's going to accumulate over years through interest. So
And it's like the business model doesn't make sense because in our societally they're encouraging people to go to school to be a functioning member.
the business model makes sense if you're
If
not.
you're at school.
Yeah, exactly. If you're on the other side.
But it's the minority. The school is the minority, right?
Yeah.
It's just it makes no sense. Can you talk about the opportunity that entrepreneurs have right now with the internet too?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of young people look at the cost of going to college and say, look at there's a potential for me to make a living, building out a YouTube channel or being like an influencer on Instagram or starting a product, that I can sell and make money. Again, I think that's really hard too. I think it's tough to build a business. It's tough to like start from scratch, especially if you're 18, 19 years old and you don't have any capital behind you
Or necessary skills. too.
yeah and
Guidance.
right so I mean, I think there is still value in higher education, getting that degree, and whether you go to Bunker Hill and like do 2 years there, save $25,000 and then transfer to UMass Boston or transfer to another 4-year school and there's value in that still. Again, like you have to like kind of weigh how much it's going to cost you and the time to pay that back. But I think going out and going to school, you'll meet different people, you'll have different experiences.
I feel like that's the biggest plus of it. You know,
Right.
you get such a fucking stream of different ideas and different
School,
people, you know.
That's
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not what
yeah.
you. I mean, it is what you study there, but it's also
It's
the
people you
you're
meet.
going to meet.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
literally, yeah. I feel like that's what I took away the most, like, out of school, you know, just
Oh,
all
yeah,
the people
for
that
sure.
I met, all the different ideas, that, you know.
Absolutely.
It helps you grow as a person.
And a college campus is a great place to just try shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone's
Yeah,
in
everyone.
heat going through it. Like, people are drunk, doing drugs, crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Playing Fortnite for 24 hours straight.
Yeah, Fortnite was crazy. It got
Yeah,
big crazy.
That shit got crazy.
Um,
What was your video game coming up, huh? Oh, no.
I was never a huge video game
come
player, but
on,
we played a lot of Madden, FIFA in college. That was like PlayStation. I want to say was kind of.
he's not giving the year.
I'm not giving, no, I'm not giving the year on
No,
that.
the PlayStation model.
Ronaldinho was on the front.
But I remember Pele was on the cover. But I remember like we would have like seasons, you know, with like all the guys in the dorm, and you know, I'm actually real tight with a lot of guys from college. So even like I graduated a while ago, but I was in a fraternity. We still do a huge fantasy baseball draft like
There you
every
go.
year. Like 20 guys get together once a year. So I think again, you get that from college. You get that from making those connections.
What? And I don't want you to incriminate yourself, but is the society around hazing, is it more sensitive now, or is hazing just much worse?
No, I think society as a whole is so much more sensitive now.
Hazing just part of the bond, right?
I mean, you again, it's all about balance.
Yeah,
and,
like
walking
it
a
can't
line.
get out of hand. I'm guessing from time to time, but it's
I mean, I see a lot of stupid fraternities out there that do stupid shit. Like, and they're like, "How you're supposed to be an intelligent person? Like, how do you think that's a good idea? Making someone drink a whole bottle of fucking Everclear? Like, that's retarded, right?
That's that.
lock him in a cage.
No, I knew a dude who there was a fraternity, and what they did is they threw tons of light bulbs in a basement and coated it. They blindfolded everybody, and they said, "Hey, there's a bottle in this basement. You're gonna go down there, walk barefoot,
Oh, God.
and it's very thin glass.
Yeah.
Go find the bottle and chug it blindfold. Like that is torture.
That is murder.
yeah.
You're thinning out their blood with the alcohol, and you're fucking cutting their feet open.
What
is that?
What was it like for you? Were people like spanking you with like paddles and shit?
I mean, there was certain things that happened, but like I never felt like I was in a dangerous situation, and I never put a pledge in a dangerous situation. You know?
Were you in the smart frat or like the?
Yeah,
where
relatively
you?
smart.
Cool. There you go. So you
What
guys
was it?
weren't
Was it Phi Sig?
Phi Sigma Kappa, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we didn't have Greek life in Providence, but
No
we
Greek
didn't
life?
need that. But we didn't need to.
That's all
We
right.
kind of were
We-
wild on
our
own.
freshman dorm, our floor is called the barn,
Yeah.
actually,
Okay.
Our
it's
RA nicknamed it that.
because it was atrocious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait till like a couple of years go by and we can
We'll talk about it
Yeah,
without
yeah.
incriminating ourselves. Our sophomore year was bad too. Did you live off campus, junior, senior?
Yes, junior, senior off campus. So, but I just think that experience of picking up and moving 500 miles away from home, like I got more out of that than almost anything
Yeah,
else.
you had to get out of Maine, bro.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine you going back. Would you ever?
I appreciate it more and more the older I get, and I think just having lived in New York City, have been in Philadelphia, I've lived in Vermont, been in Boston, obviously, like I appreciate it, and I can kind of see more why my parents decided to go there. They were Massachusetts people. They decided to go up there, like fucking almost like going out to like the wild
Yeah,
west.
literally just going out there in the fucking boonies, man.
But there's something to be said for a simple life too. I mean, I think a lot of issues with society,
Yeah.
like things are so complicated, like social media, like YouTube, like what do people think about me, and like oh my god, like student loan debt, like things are so complicated. Like aim to
This
have
whole-
a simple life.
Do you really think that's social media, or do you think it's just social media is just highlighting how insecure people are?
I think it's highlighting how insecure people are sometimes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no
there's
morality.
no-
There's no
That-
morality in the app.
Dude,
it's how you
yeah.
interact with
I
the
like
app.
had said if I had said some of the things that I see on social media to somebody like in a bar, like I would have been fucking knocked out. Like,
Yeah.
It's like people can just sit there in their room and be like,
It's easy.
Right.
It's convenient. but it's also dope for business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's
I
good.
mean,
The good and the bad. There's always a yin and a yang.
Well, there's no podcast without social media, man.
That's a fact.
Well, I think that's what I was trying to say about like the state of entrepreneurship is that like anybody can start now.
Yeah, it is.
There's nothing
very
holding you
low
back.
barrier of entry.
Again,
right?
and this isn't even like an age thing again, but like when you were our age, I doubt you could have started the business the way you do now, right? When did it start? 2013, 14?
2013, yeah.
Word. Damn, you're year 6, man. You made it.
Look at
5,
that.
yeah, we're getting there. Let's
Throwing
go.
a big party for your 10.
But that's what like guys like Gary Vee talk about and
Oh,
David
yeah.
John. You know, it's like
Conor loves Gary Vee.
I fucking love Gary.
I can see that.
The internet is a weapon.
He's
He's a genius though.
Yeah, he puts a lot of content out.
Because he said they're gonna tax it eventually. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
dude.
What?
Yeah.
They're gonna tax every post you put out?
Saying Instagram's gonna start taxing.
Oh god.
That would suck for everyone involved.
Yeah, I see it happening, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot.
Let's hope not.
There's a lot of issues with government revenues and where they're gonna fund infrastructure rebuild and all that. So.
Here, I want to make sure you get your plug off in terms of where they can follow you, find you.
Yep. So you can check us out. We post mostly on Instagram, Encore Apparel Co. Just look for this little skull note logo. That's our logo.
At Encore Apparel Co.
Yep, on Instagram, Facebook, Encore Apparel Company. You want to check out our website, www.encoreapparel.com.
Clean website, by the way.
Clean. We got a
Sleek.
video on there.
Beautiful.
We drop product probably every quarter or so. Every 3 months, we'll bring out new product, new designs. We're doing a lot with the logo. And the charity side is really going to be a big focus for us this year. We launched a fund actually yesterday where $1 from every single item we sell goes into a fund, which we can allocate grants, small grants out to musicians, artists to do different things, whether that's applying for an audition at Berkeley, whether that's, getting an instrument to kind of hone their craft. Like we want to be able to just do very nimble, small grants. So $1 from every sale of our items will go into that fund.
I forgot my plug. We are at Phoenix Down Recording. This is the most lucrative studio in Boston, not for the business owner, but for the consumer, because you come in here with a terrible product. Absolutely disgusting. You suck, dude. And then after you get your shit mixed here, you leave, and dude, you got a hit on your hands. But
Look at that.
But if you come with a good product,
Oh,
bro, you're leaving
you're
on the
doing
charts.
numbers.
You're gonna
You're
leave on
doing
the
numbers,
charts, dead
baby.
ass.
You're doing numbers.
Okay, so you did that. But you did not say where your store is.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. If you want to check us out in person, you want to meet me, you want to meet Jose from Grooves Media, who's the store manager.
What was the young lady's name? Who also works there?
Alex works on Fridays. So we may have some other young people starting as well. We'll see. But 303 Newbury Street. It's on the corner of Newbury and Hereford. Again, just look for the skull notes. They are all over the windows.
Clean, very clean store. And so what Encore Apparel's like, what up, bro? Encore Apparel's like, what? I mean, Encore Hours, like you have to go buy tickets online or in person?
You can buy them at the door. You can buy them online. We have a drop down on the menu called Encore Hour where you can purchase tickets. We usually promote them on Instagram as well in terms of a ticket link. But yeah, if you see an event, just show up that night. Like we sell tickets at the door.
Pull up, bring your girl,
And,
get you a nice
and
coffee.
I have not
you
been
know?
on yet. I do plan on coming.
Yeah.
Heck, you want to come with me?
Yeah, sounds good. Bring the boys back together.
But there's an eclectic mix of kids that I could think could pull out 60 kids that I'll tell you about afterwards
that's cool.
for sure. Okay, so I doubt you remember. Oh, also, one thing I didn't note is that after we had left, all the episodes we recorded in your space. Are you hearing shit?
No, I'm just looking.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, I had heard a scream somewhere. But after we recorded, our hard drive actually broke.
Okay.
So we had like 5 episodes. We only were able to release the one with Xandros.
Oh boy.
So I'm sorry
You
about.
couldn't
It was like
It was gonna be $4,700.
arm and a fucking leg.
What?
Yeah. Oh, look at
Because-
Voidy's calling us.
We're gonna let that one run. What do you?
How could it be $4,700 to like save data?
Because it's such a special. No, it's not to save. It's to recover.
Right.
So if the disc scratches, you have to like. I don't understand the process works. I just know it's such a specialized trade.
It's a hard drive like this.
It was bigger.
It was bigger.
It was a
and
desktop
what
hard
happens
drive.
is if it tips, there's a
Yeah.
so just scratch.
Oops.
Yeah, that was
That sucks.
dark times back then. Dark times, but we rose above.
Yeah, but I thank you again for always letting us
Yeah,
in the space,
no.
man.
Yeah,
That
hell
was a
yeah.
blast.
You were a blessing.
And this show would not be where it is without the opportunity you gave me.
No
so thank you,
bullshit.
man. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. For what I saw, you guys did awesome, and that's why we're still talking. So
We're good guys. We're all good guys over here.
He's a better guy though.
Okay, so Hector, why don't you do it? Because you remember how to start in the show.
Yeah. All right. So you know how we started in, right? So
Yeah.
you know, it's my name is so and so, and this is my golden hour.
Yep.
And then my name is so and so, and that was my golden hour.
But directly after No Break.
Yep.
Oh, he's confused.
I am so confused. Deer, I'm like a golden deer in headlights right now.
Whoa, look at that.
Whoa. So it's, hi, my name is X. I don't know your name. You're going to have to say it yourself.
Cool.
And this is my golden hour. And directly after No Break, hi, my name is whatever your name is.
This was my golden hour.
And that was.
Because we're gonna cut it, so you
Okay.
put the this is at the beginning as well as
So
the end.
whenever you're ready, put your sauce on it. That's how everyone's going to remember you.
Camera here.
I can't tell you, man. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
My name is Casey. I'm the co-founder of Encore Apparel. This is my golden hour.
You're a good guy. You're a good guy.
My name is Casey. I'm the co-founder of Encore Apparel.
Find him at 303 Newbury Street.
Bang, bang, bang.
303 Newbury Street, best shop in Boston.
Oh,
This was my golden hour.
that was perfectly executed.
Thanks for
Yeah,
watching,
man.
kids.
That was awesome, man. Thank you.
Hey, yo, his friend the op, he a vulture. Hey, had to wake him up like it's Folgers. Hey, had to wake him up